Here we go with our last two chapters. Chapter 9, Fly Away Home. The white horse stopped at the low wall by the edge of the track. "He's come for us," cried Annie. The guards stared in awe at the horse. Annie broke free and dashed over to Jack. He grabbed her hand and they ran to the horse. The guards shouted and started after them. But they were too late. Jack and Annie had already climbed over the wall and onto the waiting chariot. "Go, go, go!" Annie cried to the huge white horse. The horse reared and pawed the air. The crowd stepped back from the wall. The guards froze. Trust me, nobody wants to get kicked by a big white horse. Jack looked up to where Plato was now standing. Plato smiled and waved at him. Then the white horse leaped forward, pulling the chariot behind him. Jack couldn't even wave back at Plato. All he could do was hold on tight as the horse galloped beside the Olympic racers. Jack bounced up and down. Dust and sand got in his eyes. He squeezed them shut and crouched down in the chariot. He didn't know where they were going. It didn't matter. The white horse was in charge. Jack heard the thundering noise of the racing horses and chariots. He heard the screaming crowd. He felt sand blowing in his face and the hard bumping and rattling of the chariot. Suddenly, he was thrown backwards. He heard a swoosh of wind. Then, silence. "Oh, wow!" cried Annie. Jack opened his eyes. All he saw was blue sky. He pushed his glasses into place and looked around. "Help!" he cried. The white horse had grown giant feathery wings and was pulling their chariot into the sky. Jack gripped the railing. Ow, sorry. I'm being scratched by my tiny little friend here, again trying to get over the arm of the couch where she clearly does not fit. The white horse had grown giant feathery wings, and he was pulling their chariot into the sky. Jack gripped the railing of the chariot and held on for his life. "To the treehouse!" shouted Annie. Below, the Olympic crowd watched in stunned silence. The winged horse left the games behind and flew over the temple of Zeus, over the statue of Nike, over the sacred olive tree and the gymnasium. On they went, over the poet's house, the Greek theater, and the field of white tents. Finally, the winged horse coasted to the ground near the olive grove. The wheels of the chariot bumped into the grass, then slowly they came to a stop. Jack and Annie stepped out of the chariot. Jack's wet legs were so wobbly he could hardly walk. Annie rushed to the horse and stroked his neck. "Thank you," she whispered. Jack patted the horse's long neck, too. "Thanks," he said. "That was the best ride of my life." The horse snorted and pawed the ground. "Come on, Annie. We have to go before they find us," said Jack. "I don't want to leave him," said Annie. "He's the most beautiful horse in the whole world." Her eyes filled with tears. "We have to," said Jack. The horse put his head down and touched Annie's forehead with his soft nose. Then he gave her a gentle push towards the treehouse. Annie sniffed but started walking. Jack took her hand as they walked through the olive grove to the rope ladder of the treehouse. "You first," Jack said. Annie started up the ladder. Jack followed. When they were inside, Annie hurried to the window. Jack grabbed the Pennsylvania book. He pointed to the picture of the Frog Creek woods and said, "I wish—" "Look!" said Annie. Jack looked out the window. The horse had spread his giant feathery wings. He was rising from the field. The white horse flew high into the blue Olympian sky. Then he disappeared behind the clouds. "Bye," called Annie. A tear rolled down her cheek. Jack pointed again at the Pennsylvania book. "I wish we could go there," he said. The wind started to blow. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. Chapter 10. They're all here. Jack opened his eyes. It was so dark we couldn't see anything. He felt his clothes. He was wearing his t-shirt and jeans again. The leather bag had turned back into his backpack. "Hello," said Morgan Le Fay. Her voice came from the corner of the treehouse. "Hi," said Annie. "Did you have a good journey?" asked Morgan. "I did," said Jack. "But girls can't do anything fun in ancient Greece." "I did one fun thing," Annie said wistfully. "I rode in a chariot pulled by a flying horse." "That must have been wonderful," said Morgan. "You were very lucky to be bringing me the story of Pegasus." "Who?" said Jack. "Pegasus," said Morgan. "He's the great white winged horse in Greek mythology." "Oh, yeah," said Jack. "I think I've heard of him." He felt in his backpack and found the scroll. He gave it to Morgan. He could still barely see in the dark. "Excuse me. Barrett, stop growling." "Barrett?" "It was written by Anonymous," said Annie. "I know," said Morgan. "Many talented women used that name in the past. Her story will be a great addition to my Camelot library." "Plato helped us find it," said Jack. "Ah, my good friend Plato," said Morgan. "He was one of the greatest thinkers that ever lived." "And Pegasus was the greatest horse," said Annie. She sighed. "I just wish I could see him again." "You can," Morgan said softly. "He's here right now." "Pegasus?" cried Annie. "Oh, boy!" Annie turned on the flashlight and used it to find her way down the rope ladder. Jack grabbed his backpack and followed her. When they were both standing on the ground, Annie shined the flashlight at the dark trees. "Pegasus," she said. "Where are you, Pegasus?" "Turn off your flashlights, Annie," said Morgan. She was looking down from the treehouse window. Annie switched off the light. "In the night, you can see all the story characters that saved you on your last 4 missions," said Morgan. "They are all here. Hercules, the Silk Weaver, Sarf, the Serpent Monster, and Pegasus." Jack pushed his glasses into place and studied the dark woods. "Where are they, Morgan?" cried Annie. "Where's Pegasus?" "Look hard," said Morgan. "I can't see him," said Annie. "Yes, you can," said Morgan. "The oldest stories are always with us. We are never alone." "Has Morgan gone crazy?" wondered Jack. "Look up," said Morgan. "Your friends are in the night sky. They are stars." "Stars?" whispered Jack. He stared at the shimmering field of tiny stars overhead. "Hercules is a constellation," said Morgan. "The Romans imagined him kneeling in the sky, holding a club over his head." Morgan waved her fingers at the sky. For the moment, Jack saw a living, breathing Hercules outlined in the stars. "And there's the Silk Weaver with her beloved cowherder," said Morgan. "The ancient Chinese believed that they were 2 stars on either side of the Milky Way." Morgan waved her hand. The lovely Silk Weaver was outlined in the heavens. "And long ago, the Irish believed the Milky Way itself was a serpent monster, Sarf," said Morgan. Morgan waved her hand. A giant serpent glittered through the sky. "And the ancient Greeks named one of their constellations Pegasus," said Morgan. She waved her hand, and the white horse had wings and galloping legs glowed in the sky. "I see him," said Annie. Then she whispered, "I love you, Pegasus." Jack thought he saw the stars move as Pegasus was rearing back in the sky. After a breathless moment of silence, Morgan lowered her arm. The night sky became a field of glittering stars again. "You have done amazing work as Master Librarian," said Morgan. "I would trust you with any important mission." "Does that mean we're going on more trips?" asked Jack. "Indeed it does," said Morgan. "Many more." Jack smiled with relief. "When is our next mission?" asked Annie. "As soon as I need your help, I will send for you," said Morgan. "Go home now and rest." "Goodbye," said Annie. "Goodbye," said Jack. "Farewell," said Morgan. There was a sudden rushing of wind, then a blur of blinding light, and Morgan Le Fay and the magic treehouse vanished. The night was still. "Home," said Annie. "Sure," said Jack. As they walked between the trees of Frog Creek Woods, the Frog Creek Woods were pitch black. Jack couldn't see a thing, but he didn't ask Annie to turn on the flashlight. For once, he wasn't worried about finding his way home. He felt as if someone or something was leading them through the woods. Morgan's words came back to him. "The old stories are always with us. We are never alone." Jack looked up at the stars again. They were beginning to fade in the glowing light of dawn, but he thought he could hear the beating of giant wings somewhere high above. I liked that one a lot, and I kind of enjoyed it reading it all at once with you. I know I still recorded like the bits and pieces so you can watch it that way, but it was kind of nice to sit here and just take time to read the whole story and enjoy all the pieces and parts, and that way I didn't forget anything in between. So I hope this worked for you. Like I said, still, if you like reading just a little bit every day, that's beautiful. I just want these to be available to you, so I'm just working on getting as many done this summer as I can. In case you didn't get a good look at her before, she's quite content now. Emma! So this is Emma. She's my grandparents' little puppy. She won't be this small for long, though. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and Monday, because, well, I hope to read another one tomorrow, but still. I don't know when you're reading this, so I hope you have a great time. I still miss you all, and I keep planning and thinking for this fall so that we can do some amazing learning together. I can't wait to be back with you and doing more cool things together, and I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.